Hello. Hello guys, welcome to Bhamna's Online Academy. In this video, we are going to learn SQC1, which is one of your base standards of auditing, and it talks about quality control for firms. Yes, so this standard we are going to learn from a practical perspective, so you all understand the standard very well and better. And this is applicable for both CA Inter and as well as CA Final, so you both can watch the video until the end. Yes, so let's start with the video. So, yes, do you all have you all ever thought that why the top companies or the big companies in the world or in India provide their audits to the big fours, the KPMG, Deloitte, EY, and PwC? Why is it so that the top companies prefer going to this, big fours? Because the main reason is the quality that this audit firms provide is very, very good. The quality can be because of the skill set they have, the kind of human resources they have, the kind of exposure they have to different industries. Because of several factors, this big four or the audit firms are able to provide a very good quality to their clients, and that is why the top companies in the world, all over the world, prefer going to this big four for their audits, right? Yes. So as you all now have understood how much quality is very, very important, this standard of SQC1 also talks about the same thing. SQC1 talks about the quality, what quality this audit firm should maintain. So SQC1 specifically talks about an audit firm and what kind of quality that this firm should maintain, and it will talk about different factors on how it can maintain quality. Yes, so SQC1 specifically talks about quality only, and quality in the audit firms, how the audit firm can maintain the quality. Correct. Yes. So now when we talk about a practical case that has happened recently, you would have all heard of the Hindenburg Research Group, which issued a report on the Adani Group. So this Hindenburg Research Group, what do they usually do is they prepare an investigation report on a target company. So they'll take a company, they'll target the company and issue an investigation report on it. So it will tell you what are the irregularities that is happening in the firm and all other factors that the public should know. Yes. So here recently when this group issued a report on Adani, they questioned that Adani is a big company. So if you see, let me take you through an news report where what they told was Adani Group, its business is worth $100 billion, but it's still used only a tiny 11 employee firm to get its books audited. Yes, so this was a big question that I raised, how that such a big company can use just a 11 people 11 people tiny firm to audit. Like, how can such a minimal resource be enough to audit such a big company? So this was one of the questions that this research report raised. Okay, and post that what had happened was that tiny group, that tiny audit firm, which was the Shah Dandari, I guess. Yes, so this group resigned after that. Yes. So this is also a question mark on quality that this Hindenburg research report raised. This is also a question mark on quality, that what is the kind of quality that this tiny firm can provide for such a big company. Yes. So here they were, in the report they stated that there was no current website for them. They only had 4 partners and 11 employees in, and their monthly office rent was just 32,000. So you can imagine what kind of a small office it could have. So here the question it raised was, what is the kind of quality would the audit report would have had? How could they have audited such big financials? Yes. So here from this report you can understand how important it is to have quality in the firm, and as well as when you're talking about your financial statements, right? Yes. So now let's starting with this SQC1. So SQC1, what it will tell you is that whenever you have an audit firm, so who will be there in the audit firm? There will be an engagement partner. Who is the engagement partner? The engagement partner is more like the boss of the firm. Yes, under him there will be a team who works for him or her. Yes, so there will be a team who work for them, and they will help in doing the audit or conducting of an audit. Yes. So let's go into the standard. So starting with this, yes, so SQC1 is your quality control for firm that perform audits and reviews. So here what they are talking, they're not only talking about your statutory audits, but here this they are telling that quality is very very essential. Quality in a firm is very very essential, not just for performing quality statutory audits, but for all kind of related engagements, whatever kind of assurance services, review services you give, for all those kind of services also, apart from statutory audit, all those services also, when you're doing those services, it is very very important to maintain quality inside the firm. Here we are talking about how to maintain quality inside the firm, how to maintain quality while you are doing an audit. While you're doing an audit, SA 220 will talk about it. Here we are talking about quality, how to maintain quality inside the audit firm. Inside the audit firm, please know that difference. Yes. So here they are telling that all the firms, all the audit firms which are there, they should have a system of quality control. They should have a system which helps in controlling their quality, so that they can provide reasonable assurance that they are complying with the professional standards, regulatory and legal requirements, and also the report issued by them is appropriate. So now let's understand, this is one of the main sentences. So if you understand this, the entire standard will get easier for you. Yes. So this audit firms which are there, so this audit firms which are there, they have a few regulatory bodies which they, according to which they have to function. Though, so this regulatory bodies which are there, they will give them a few instructions, and that instructions this audit firm has to follow while these instructions they have to comply while they are doing an audit. Yes. So it is very very important for this audit firms to comply with all these regulatory bodies. So this can be professional standards, legal standards, and regulatory requirements also. So to ensure that they are following all of this, they need to have a good quality control in their firm to ensure that they are following all of this. That was your point number one. The second reason why you need to have quality in your firm is because the report that you're going to issue against such big clients is that this report should be appropriate. The opinion that you're going to give in this report about whether this financial statements are true and fair, or are not qualified, I mean are qualified, or disclaimer of opinion, or whatever kind of opinion you're going to issue against this company's financial statements, that opinion should be appropriate. That opinion should be appropriate. And to ensure such report is appropriate, you need to have good quality in your firm. So these are the two reasons why you need to have quality in your firm. One is to comply with the professional standards, regulatory and legal requirements, and the second is that the report which is issued by your partner or the firm should be appropriate in all circumstances. Yes. So you have now understood what the standard's main objective is. So if you have understood this very well, this standard is going to be pretty easy for you all. Yes. So now then the standard talks about three important definitions. One is the engagement partner, then that is engagement quality control review, engagement quality control reviewer. Yes. So let me tell you. So when there is an audit firm, there is a head of the audit firm who is known as the engagement partner, or you can call the boss of the audit firm is known as the engagement partner. This engagement partner who is there is usually a CA, in practice. Yes. So he is the engagement partner. So now that you have understood what is engagement partner, who is the EQCR? So engagement quality control reviewer. So by this name itself you would have understood. Engagement means the particular audits. Quality control reviewer, the one who reviews the quality in an engagement, is known as the engagement quality control reviewer. So this person who is there, so he can be an internal person in the firm, or he can be an external person of the firm. So a firm, what they will usually do is, so what happens in an audit? In an audit, at the end, you will have to issue a report whether the financial statements are true or not. So to come to a conclusion whether this report what you are issuing, whether the financial statements are true or not, what you will do an entire audit where you will collect a lot of evidences, you will collect a lot of documents, you will do a lot of analytical, and then depending on all of this, you will come to a conclusion and issue this report. Correct. So what this external quality control reviewer will do is that before you issue a report, before a company issues a report, before the audit firm issues a report related to a particular engagement, they will appoint a EQCR, engagement quality control reviewer. They will appoint a person, and this person, before you issue the report, he will go through all the information that you have collected. He will go through all the information that you have collected, and he will see if the conclusion that you have arrived using all these information is correct or not. So Before issuing such report, what this SQC1 tells you is that wherever applicable, you need to appoint an EQCR. So see, so engagement partner is a partner in the firm, the boss of the firm who is in full-time practice. So engagement quality control review means that before the report is issued, before the final report is issued, whatever the conclusions the team has arrived at, you will be evaluating that. The reviewer will evaluate that. So reviewer is that person. He can be an external person or internal person, but he needs to be qualified, yes, to perform such review, and he will do such review. Yes. So now that we have understood the basic part, let's move on to the most important part of this standard. If you understood, if you understand these six things, the standard, entire standard is talking about only these six things. Yes. So elements of system of quality control. So when you are building a system of quality control in your firm, whenever you go to a simple school also, whenever you have done your schooling also, in a school also they'll have a set system of quality that you have to maintain. That means you have to be on time to the school, you have to wear proper uniform, you need to have proper shoes, you need to be wearing an ID card. So these are a few quality system that they have so that the school runs properly. The same way it's for an audit firm. So the audit firm has a few factors that it has to keep in mind so that the quality in the audit firm is maintained. Yes. And so now what are those elements is what we are going to understand. Yes, give me a minute. Yes, okay. So the system of quality control talks about six factors. First is your leadership responsibilities. Here it tells you that the leader, who is that, the boss, the engagement partner, who is that, it is his responsibility, his ultimate responsibility to be precise, to maintain the quality within the firm. Somebody has to take responsibility to maintain the quality, right? So this responsibility, the ultimate responsibility lies with the leader, and the leader in an audit firm is the engagement partner. Yes. Second, it talks about ethical requirements. So there are a few ethical requirements that you have to follow, and when you are accepting or continuing with a particular client, you need to keep a few factors in mind. Then you will also have to look into your human resources, whether they are efficient enough, whether they are sufficient enough to perform an audit. And when an audit is getting performed, you need to also evaluate whether the engagement performance is good or not, and finally you'll have to monitor everything. Yes. So now you might not have understood, but let's go one by one so you understand these elements. Now starting with the first element of quality, which is your leadership responsibilities. Just before I go into the standard, so from now on, now that you have understood what is the essence of this entire SQZ1, I'm just going to go through quickly through whatever is written in the standard, and I will provide you this PDF either in Telegram or in the description box below. You can either get it from any one place, and you can read through this after. Once this video is done, you can, this is just a 3.5 page standard, so quickly please go through this whatever is written in this summary notes, so you understand the standard better. Yes. So now let's quickly go through what is written in the standard. So starting with the first element, which is your leadership responsibility. So here they tell you that there is an engagement partner who is the boss of the firm. So it is the responsibility of the boss of the firm to make sure that the entire firm is complying with the professional standards, regulatory and legal requirements. And then it is a responsibility of the engagement partner that whatever audit report they are issuing, it should also be appropriate. Yes. This engagement partner should also emphasize that quality is very very essential in performing audit engagement. So somebody has to come and tell you, like how in a school the principal comes and tells you, back and again and again, that quality, that you should come on time, you should do this, you should do that. Here also somebody must be there to emphasize, that quality is very very important. So the engagement partner is going to do that, the boss of the firm is going to do that. And they also tell you that this engagement partner should also make sure that there is internal policies and procedures. Like internally also, apart from what has been said in the standards, internally also there should be a few policies and procedures to ensure that the firm is maintaining quality. And the engagement partner must ensure that the firm is complying with such internal procedures and policies also. Yes. And the engagement team which is there, so I spoke to you about engagement partner. Under him, I told you that there is an engagement team which works under him. So this engagement team So this engagement team is none other than the articles, the qualified CAs which are working under the boss of the firm. So this engagement team should also be able to raise any concerns that they have without fear. Only when they are able to raise concerns, we will know that they are very keen on following a quality. Yes, and they must be able to raise it without fear that you are able to come with the best conclusions possible. So this is about your leadership responsibility. The engagement partner should ensure they are complying with the professional standards, reports they are issuing are appropriate, internal policies and procedures are being followed, and engagement team is able to raise any concern without fear. So that was about your first element, leadership responsibility. Now let's talk about the second element, which is your ethical requirements. So there are five ethical requirements that the engagement team and the engagement partner, that is the audit term, has to follow. Is the first one is integrity. That the engagement team or the engagement partner who is working on a particular audit or any review should be very should have integrity. That means they should be honest. Second is they must be objective in nature. The team which is working should be objective in nature. That means they should have no bias towards the client. Yes, only when you're not biased towards the client, you will be able to give a clean report. That means it has no bias in it, and all the conclusions that you have arrived is only based on facts and not on anything else. Yes, so they must be objective. The engagement team should also have professional competence and due care. That means you cannot send a article. That means, like how we read in the report, you cannot send a 11 people tiny audit firm to do a audit of $100 billion company. Yes, so it is not competent enough to do it. So you must have that appropriate competency, minimum number of human resources, the amount of knowledge they have, the practical exposure they have, all comes into this competence. And they must also take due care while they are performing the audit. Yes, and confidentiality is very, very important. You cannot go around leaking the information about a firm you have audited. Of course, you cannot do that. So confidentiality is one of the most important factors. And professional behavior, that means the way they are behaving, the way they are questioning the client, the way they are appearing, all is very professional. So this is all the five factors which there is a code. Yes, there is a code of professional ethics that a firm has to follow, that the people working in the firm has to follow. They must be honest, they must have no bias, they must have professional competence. That means they must have the knowledge, experience and the technical knowledge to do an audit. They must perform it with due care. They must not leak out the information anywhere. They must be confidential. They must maintain secrecy, to be precise, and they must have a professional behavior. So these are your ethical requirements. And ethical requirements talks about one more important aspect, which is the independence. So here they tell you that, so what happens in big four, let me tell you, not even just in big four but in top firms of the country. So every year, annually, what will happen is they will tell the people who are working, the human resources which are working in the audit firm, to give a declaration. They'll tell that please give a declaration of independence. In that declaration of independence, what the people in the firm, that is the article assistants, the qualified CAs, the senior people, whoever is working in the firm, they'll give a declaration of independence every year. And in whatever annually also they'll give, in whatever engagements they are working also they'll give. So annually they'll declare that they are independent. That means they are not related to any client that they are auditing, as well as all the requirements that are to be met they are meeting. They are not having any interest in any of the companies they are auditing. Yes, so there are different aspects of independence that this team working in the audit firm will declare their independence about. Yes, so you need to be independent. Like I cannot, like if I am here, okay, and my dad is suppose having a big company which my audit firm is auditing, I cannot be the auditor of my dad's company, correct? Because definitely then I will have a biasness towards my dad's company, and the independence factor will be missing there. The more independent I am towards the firm I am auditing, the cleaner and the better the audit report is going to be. Yes, so independence is of very much importance when you're conducting an audit. So what are the policies and procedures that a firm should have which will enable them to have independence? Okay, so the first point is that the personnel and others, that means the people who are working in an audit firm should know that what are the independence requirements which are there, which needs to be met. Only when you know what are the requirements, you'll be able to meet it, correct? So first they should know what are the independence requirements. Yes. Second is that if there is any threat to independence, that means if there is any threat to independence, like suppose the different types of threats you would have, read about, familiarity threat, let's say. Okay, so such threats to independence, if you find out that there is any threats, such threats should be identified and evaluated, like what impact it can have. And in case if it has any impact on the firm or on the audits, then the audit firm should take appropriate actions to eliminate such threats. If it is not able to eliminate such threats of independence, then what they are telling, just withdraw from an engagement, don't do that engagement itself. If you are performing an engagement, the team working in that engagement should be independent. If there is any threat of independence and you're not able to eliminate that threat, then in such case you can withdraw from that engagement. The standard is saying no need to do such engagement at all. Okay, so independence is of such importance. Yes. So here they are telling what are the policies and procedures in case of breach of independence. That means if there is a breach, okay, what are the policies and procedures you are going to take care? So first is that they must promptly notify the firm. So whoever identifies such breach should notify the audit firm or the engagement partner that there is such breach. Only when they are going to notify and tell that engagement partner that there is such breach, the engagement partner can also take some action. Yes. So, firm to promptly communicate, identify breaches too. So, whoever in the firm finds an breach of independence, they must, notify it to the engagement partner, and the engagement partner will address the breach. He will tell what to be done about this breach now. Okay. So, now let's take an example. There is an engagement. Suppose you have an audit of Reliance. Okay. And suppose I am Bhavna. I am assigned as a audit team member to audit the Reliance Group company. And what happens is that I suppose, let's take for example, I am a relative. Suppose I am a relative, a very close relative of the new Reliance company's head. Okay, Ambani's. I'm a very close relative of Ambani. Then will I be then this here? If you see, this is a breach of independence. This is a threat to independence. That if I am working in that audit, I will not be able to give the most unbiased form. Okay. Yes. So here, what they will do is what the engagement partner can here do is that the engagement partner can either remove me from that audit and replace me with some other team member who is independent enough. If they're not able to do that, then they have to withdraw from that engagement itself. Then they should not do this engagement itself. Yes. So these all you should do. So here they are also telling you that annually the firm has to obtain a return confirmation of independence from all the people in the audit firm. And in case of listed entities, to maintain the independence, the engagement partner should be rotated every 7 years. So every 7 years, if you're doing an audit of a listed company, the engagement partner should be rotated every 7 years, and new engagement partner should be set every 7 years. The old partner cannot continue in audit of a listed company for more than 7 years. Okay. Yes. So now we have understood what is leadership responsibilities and what is ethical requirements. Now moving on with acceptance and continuance of client